Randy, I heard some somewhat terrifying news this morning.
Did grandma get run over by a reindeer or something?
Oh
Or
no,
no?
apparently there is a strike being threatened at the North Pole.
Oh,
And I may not get my wooden horsey.
oh no. They'll get coal instead. Did they still give coal in stockings?
But I know that on Amazon you can order coal.
Did you
Yeah,
do it?
yeah.
I used to get an orange in the bottom of the stocking and chapstick. I mean, those are two things that always showed up, and then some kind of
Yeah,
pack of gum or licorice,
yeah,
and then whatever else was in fashion back in the day.
yeah.
But oranges and chapstick, eternal
Yeah.
gifts.
I used
So
to get a pair of socks,
yeah.
but because I was number 2 of 15, they were always my older brother's pair. But anyway, put all
Yeah.
that aside, buddy. Tell the
We'll do
world
it.
who you are.
Sure, yeah. Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina, director for our professional center. So, if you're a job hunter, I know it's this kind of a dead time of year for a lot of folks with a job hunt. And, I understand that Christmas is less than a week away. But here again, if you're in a job search and you're so inclined, you like a little help, happy to help. We're free. So reach out to me and we'll get you on the calendar. And usually come 1st of January, things really pick up. So if you'd like to get on the calendar, jump on it a little quicker than waiting until the new year. So all good there. Teddy, who are you?
Yeah, man. Look, I work
Yeah.
for this company called Burriss Consulting. We teach LinkedIn as a business tool. We have one-on-one coaching. We have corporate training programs. We have a teachable academy, Randy, that is being accepted worldwide by sales leaders and career coaches who want to help their clients use LinkedIn as a business tool. And but every couple times a week, me
Yep.
and my buddy get together and we make a lot of noise, we share a lot of jokes, but we also help people. And so
Yep.
this show, we're going to share with you. Randy's going to do his research, and then we're going to share with you some stories that we may have. We'll introduce our speaker for this Wednesday, which is going to be an absolutely fantastic conversation. And then we'll drop some tips on you. And so, Randy, kick it off, man. Show us the research you did.
Yeah, so there's the little bit of research. We always cover births, deaths, and events. So not a whole lot in the birth and death department. There's a little, and I've got a little trivia for you, Teddy. So I hope you had your Wheaties this morning and you're ready to roll. So births on this date: Leonid Brezhnev, Russian, I guess, I don't know if they call him president or, whatever the title that they bestowed on him. He was born on this date in
Was he a
1906.
Scotch guy or gin? I can't remember.
It's probably vodka.
Vodka, that's right. Yeah.
He's Russian. Al Kaline, baseball Hall of Famer, Detroit Tiger, great 1934 born. And I mentioned this fella, Reggie White, 1961 he was born. He was a Hall of Fame defensive lineman for the Packers. And I mentioned that because he died in his sleep and he had sleep apnea. And I also have that. Yeah. And oftentimes obese people have that. They get constricted in their throat. You don't have to be obese. And certainly I've had it for much of my life and others have had it. And so we use the CPAP machine.
Yeah.
So my little tip, which is not the end of the show tip, but my tip is if you snore a lot, somebody says you're snoring all the time, get checked on that because it killed this guy. Yeah. Reggie White. Your heart is stressed and I sleep so much better with a CPAP. So just a little public service announcement. Deaths on this date, you'll know by his last name what he is famous for. He died in 1915. His first name is Alois. So Aloy, I don't know. His last name is Alzheimer.
I thought you were going to say Chips.
Chips Ahoy, right? German neurologist, but he discovered that's just a horrible disease.
Yeah.
Trivia for you: 1959, this fella died. His name is Walter Williams. Any idea who Walter Williams is, or at least
Williams died in 59. I was 1 year old. I don't know. Was he the guy that came up with silk flowers?
He claimed to be 117 years old, if that helps any. That's pretty old. Yeah, he claimed to be the last living person who was around during the Civil War.
Yeah.
Mamie Johnson died on this date. Again, somebody you've never heard of, in 2017. She was the first female pitcher to play in the Negro Leagues. I wasn't even aware that women were in the Negro Leagues, but apparently they were, and she was the first one. A bunch of events, though. Here's one. Remember this phrase? These are the times that try men's souls. You've heard that before.
I have heard that. I'm trying to put it in context.
Sounds like from a movie.
Yeah.
But actually, it was 1776. Thomas Paine wrote the essay. It's his first American crisis, but Thomas Paine authored that. Also, a little trivia for you. 1854, some guy named Allen Wilson in Connecticut patented something. We don't know. You don't use. I don't think either of us uses it. It's a sewing machine that sews curving seams. So I don't know. I just throw it in the trash and buy another one. But back then you didn't do that, so you needed something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So, and here's another trivia. 1871, Albert Jones. And if you get Amazon boxes around Christmas time and elsewhere, you're going to be happy that this guy did what he did.
Did he make packing tape?
Close. He patented corrugated paper. So, cardboard boxes.
Yeah, he's a cardboard dude.
Got that. A bunch of films got released on his date. I won't go into a lot of detail. Kramer versus Kramer, 9 to 5, Raging Bull, Platoon. Those all were released on this date.
All good Christmas movies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So story, we had Robert Katz on this past week, and
it was a good
the whole AI thing. And that's one of those things that as with a lot of technology, what is current today, I mean, you know, this, you're an old IT guy, right? What's current today and what's hot next year, next month, next week may not be. And AI is one of these evolving things that really has an impact on our lives. But I go back and I think back to when I was first going online to chat with what I thought was a customer service rep.
Yeah.
It was a bot. And, you know, but it was my first experience with that. Just like I can remember the first time I was on a customer service call, and I heard, this call may be monitored for training purposes.
Yeah.
It was I remember the first time I thought, wow, this thing's being recorded. What? Yeah. So anyway, just know that where we are today is not where we're going to be tomorrow, and down the road, it's going to change too. So that's my story. Yeah.
And I just hope that they never find out that you and I are totally artificially intelligent.
To what do you attribute your artificial intelligence?
We're not even here, dude. We're sitting at a bar somewhere, and this show keeps going.
The deep fakes are exposed. That's a whole other issue, and I hope no world war gets started over that. But with technology as it is, and you can make people say things that really aren't the real people saying what they're saying, and it's kind of scary.
All right, here's my story, man.
Yeah, man.
So I'm testing something. I do this every year about this time, and I'm testing this this whole communication style, Randy. I get an email from someone, you typically respond to email. You get a LinkedIn message, you typically respond to LinkedIn message, etc. Get a text message, you blah blah blah, keyboard, bang on the keyboard. Well, what I'm testing is when people message me through different what's it called, platforms. I'm not responding. I'm calling. I'm gonna try a Apple FaceTime phone call, or I'll try a Facebook video message and a Facebook video call. I'm just experimenting. I did it a couple times this morning. Did it with a cousin of mine in Ohio. I haven't heard from this guy in probably a year, and he sends me a Facebook message, says, "Teddy, beware of the scammers," with some funny meme. And I called him on FaceTime, and this is a big old burly dude with a big old beard. He's sitting in his office wearing a Santa's hat, and we had a FaceTime chat. So my point is, I mean, it's a tip as well as a story. I'm going to experiment with this. So be aware, if you message me, whoever you are, I may video call you. We'll see what happens.
Wow. The real Teddy Burriss making a real phone call.
Well, I didn't say real. I'm just saying I'm video calling.
Okay. You're experimenting with the deep fakes. Right. Hey, we got a great guest coming up on this Wednesday. We had Robert Katz last time, but this time we're going to talk about climbing your Mount Everest. Ben Eden joins us from Utah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's going to be on here. And I heard him speak at one of our recent SHRM chapter meetings.
Yeah.
Actually, we flew him in from Utah just to do our presentation, and he flew back. Great guy. Very.
You didn't make him walk back.
Here's a bus pass and $20. But no, you think about Mount Everest and you think, wow, that's huge. Nobody can really do that. I mean, very few can talk about it. But he kind of broke down how we go through life and inching forward, taking a step back, inching 2 steps forward, hopefully taking 1 step back. And that Mount Everest, that even though it's so high, we can kind of break things down into some incremental steps. And he'll go in a little bit more detail about how all that works and how it plays out in our lives and how we can make that work for us to help us improve our standard or quality of living. So Ben Eden joins us coming up on the 21st. So that'll be good. Got a quick tip, I suppose. And I'm not a gambler, a poker player, and some people prefer the safety net. They want to stay close to home, and others risk it all and put all their chips in. And occasionally I run across clients who are in a very good financial shape, very good financial condition, and are looking at retirement. And then they're saying, well, if I don't want to retire and I still want to work a little, do I go to work for a company doing the same kind of work that I do now because it's safe, or a part-time basis, or do I just go try to do something else? And everybody's different. You have different reasons, but my point here is the tip is do your homework. If you don't have to risk it and go do something different and you're comfortable with what you're doing, that's fine. It's fine to stay with what you're doing. And if you want to do something on the side and volunteer or something that really energizes you, that's great. But you don't want to necessarily knowingly jump into something that is going to be overly stressful and you'll feel like you're drowning because you've earned not the right, but you've earned that latitude to make choices on your time and based on what you want, not what you have to take.
Yeah. I think the word right is appropriate. I've earned the right to make the change I want to make. Yeah. I do whatever the hell I want to do. And I tell my wife, oh, golly day, she's coming.
Teddy. Uh-oh. You are getting cold for Christmas. Yeah,
I am, dude. I am. All right, here's my tip. And people do this all the time, Randy. They jump on a new social media platform. They jump on a new website. They download some new freaking app. They, put their email address and their password, and people fail all the time by using the same password and the same email address for everything. That's a conversation for another day. But here's what they never do. Most 99% of the people who jump on new social media, whatever, never do this. They never look at the privacy settings or let alone the privacy policy of those apps. And they wonder why their face is showing up everywhere. Their email address is showing up. Their contact information is showing up in different places because they didn't look at the settings where they may have the ability to control that. Maybe not. But the privacy statement that says, we're going to use your personal and contact information, blah, blah, blah. You got to read this stuff, you don't buy a new house without reading, the mortgage agreement, maybe, or the insurance statement. Same thing with social media. Read that stuff so you know what you're getting into. That's my tip for the day.
Good tip, Teddy.
All right, man. Look, you go off and have fun. I will see you in a couple days with Ben Eden, and we'll talk about climbing our personal Mount Everest. So
that'll work for me. You have a good one. See you, buddy.
Bye.